What do we even say here? Oh, but there is one good thing about this. What, what good could possibly fucking come out of this game? Me slapping you. Oh, last game didn't result in in a penalty. This may be the worst I've ever felt after a Bruins loss. Fans, even though this is a 5-2 loss at the hands of the Carolina Hurricanes, I encourage you all. I don't care if these two can't hug it out tonight. I mean, I do care, but that's beside the point. I genuinely, all of you, give each other a hug because the Bruins sure as shit aren't giving us anything to be happy about right now. Let's start off with Marchand. Last game was a -3, and Jacob Slavin was a +3. And I mean, low qual already said that like Jacob Slavin was going to be the biggest thorn in our side, and he was basically just going to be our cut our losses guy throughout the series. And yeah, I can kind of see why he said that, because Jacob Slavin is genuinely one of the most skilled defensemen the Bruins have ever had the displeasure of playing this season. But also last game the Canes won 67% of their short-handed face-offs. Freaking even when they were on the freaking penalty kill, they were doing better than us on face-offs. And by the way, after this game in which the Bruins doubled their season goal total against the Carolina Hurricanes, making it now 4-0. The season goal total for both teams against each other is Carolina is currently winning 26-4, meaning that for every goal we score, Carolina is scoring 6.5. I don't know. I hate math as much as the next person, but I think that might be the angriest I've gotten at numbers. Freaking, I hate you. If the Bruins get swept this season, I may hate the whatever number the Canes score against us this season more than I hated the number 39 when we were on that insane power play drought. And you know what? I freaking hated this game. Let's start a puck drop and in vintage Bruins. We're starting out pretty hard. We're getting somewhere. And here I'm thinking is like, oh boy, can we keep this up? Of course not. Of course we can't keep anything up. Surprisingly, Foligno actually puts in some work. And this is something that I noticed throughout the entire game. Not just specific. I complained a lot last game about the Bruins being bad at freaking what is it? The Bruins being at the very most subpar on rebound opportunities right in front of the net. Nobody was just right there in front of the net. This game, it was a combination of that, and we are taking so many wide angle shots and nobody is on the far post to connect. Foligno tries it, putting a freaking good spin move of on it, and Nosek and Lazar, they're fucking flopped on the ground because we are so out of position all the time against this team. And surprisingly, that was just the tip of the iceberg. Nino Niederreiter eventually ends up tripping Charlie McAvoy. You can't do that. And what I think people don't talk about with David Pastrnak enough is how catastrophically horrible he is at puck handling in key situations. He is. Let me put it like this. Pastrnak, if this were baseball, Pastrnak would be the guy that you put in on at cleanup to because you know that he can. He would be the guy that you have hitting leadoffers. Wherever in the lineup you want someone hitting the most home runs, and because that's all Pastrnak is good for, and that's great. But also, it's like having 30 home runs in a season with a 215 batting average, and barely any freaking base hits. Great, you did the one big thing. Can you do any of the smaller shit that we might also need you to do? It's I swear to God, it's like having Phil Kessel. And then, but speaking of Pastrnak, we have to talk about the incident. Pastrnak ran. What is it? Antti Raanta came out of his crease, and what is it? I forgot to talk about why I was talking about Pasternak's bad puck handling. He just pretty much gave it right to Sebastian Aho in the neutral zone, and he is so lucky that Linus Ullmark was able to stop his shot, even though he almost didn't. He freaking juggled. I can't speak. He juggled it, and somehow it got all the way to the sideboards. But like, shit. But we need to talk about the thing. During an interference penalty on Tony DeAngelo, Pastrnak is going right to the puck for. And Antti Raanta comes out of his crease to clear the puck. Pastrnak sees the intention and scrunches up to try and instead block the clearing attempt, and I guess and also sort of to like not run into Raanta. That doesn't happen. And they collide, and it's and Raanta is bleeding. He ends up going to the locker room. He doesn't return, and we have Pyotr Kochetkov in net for the Canes. After this, everybody was complaining about Pastrnak laying a dirty hit on Raanta. Please tell me what exactly Pastrnak is supposed to do there. Is he just supposed to bail at the last minute and collide into the end boards on his back? Is he supposed when you're scrunched up like this and your legs are like together? Is it easy to go in a forward motion to to glide in a forward motion like that when your legs are like right next to each other. Dude's got a freaking. I wouldn't be surprised if he tripped, but if he lost his balance, and that's why he put his arms up at the last second. But also, I wouldn't be surprised if he was putting his arms up to try and bring his stick up to corral the puck. Either way, it was just a freak accident, and Pasternak gets 2 minutes for goaltender interference. And I wasn't expecting a major out of this penalty. I wasn't expecting a major. I kind of was expecting a double minor because Ronta got injured and there was blood, and there's usually a double minor when there's blood. But even with Kochetkov in, it doesn't fucking matter because the Bruins can't get a rebound to save their goddamn lives. We can't. And what's even worse is after the penalty resolves, we can't freaking clear the puck. Look, we had like 4 different opportunities to clear the puck, and we. I think it was I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been Forbert who fucked it up. It was either Forbert or Lazar that bungled the clearing attempt on this one. And Jordan Stahl skates right to open space, passes it cross ice to Jesper Fast, and Ullmark isn't there to stop it. 1-0 Canes. Am I surprised about this? No, not really. Am I mad about this? Yes. I mean, not just because that might be a save that Ullmark needs to have, but also, what the fuck is this defense? What the hell is this defense? And not long afterwards, Tony DeAngelo has it at like the top of the offensive zone and fires it, and guess what happens? Freaking Sebastian Aho tips it down, and it deflects past Ullmark to make it 2-0 in Carolina. Are we even trying at this point? And by the way, this makes 16 consecutive games in which we've lost after suffering a 2-goal deficit. I don't think we can keep holding 2013, the first round of 2013, in such high regards anymore. Honestly, I think it's time I think it's time that we need to let go of it. Toronto, they're gonna have to eat that until they eventually break that. Until Lucy eventually kicks that. Charlie Brown eventually kicks that football. How did I freaking say Lucy? No, Charlie Brown kicks that in football, which that might be difficult for them because they just got their shit rocked by Tampa 5-1. But but one thing that also permeated throughout this game for me, we played with so much more aggression than we did intensity. And there is absolutely a difference. Because when you're playing with intensity, you are playing. You have players with momentum. They are working smart. They are working smarter and harder, and they make big but legal hits, and they can. They're playing clean, but they're not going to let themselves get pushed around. And this, it's just sloppy. It is just sloppy. And apparently, after the buzzer on pretty much every single period, there was a scrum happening, and it caused us to start the second period on a 5-on-3 because Bergeron took a slashing penalty, late in the first period, and right after Bergeron's penalty expires, Sebastian Aho gets a pretty nice setup on a one-timer and scores. And scores from pretty much the blue line with the clearest lane ever. It's like a freaking it's like you're going down a 4-lane highway with nobody else there. It's just it was just wide ass open. We overcommitted so hard to the left side. We left nobody on the right side, and we got our ass and we got our shit pushed in because of it. But I mean, hey, at least we're out of the penalty kill on this one, and about halfway through the game, Bruce Cassidy is like, well, time to switch. Well, we're fucked. Time to switch things up. And we put the perfection line back together. David Pastrnak is back on the top line with Bergeron and Marchand. Who knows if this will be long term? Who knows if this will even work out? I mean, this line did get 2 goals tonight. It was entirely Bergeron, but still. But Andrei Svechnikov. How do I put this in a way that's that will not? How do I put this in a way that I can properly articulate it? He is tonight. This dude was like, I don't know, a fucking Chris Pronger decided to if Chris Pronger decided to become a power forward or some shit like that. I don't fucking know. He played his ass off, but oh my god, dude took way too laid out so many big hits that didn't need to happen, and he got absolutely nothing from it. But the first one, he actually did get something from it. He just completely gropes Taylor Hall, and he goes to the box for it, which fantastic. But during that power play, the Bruins are trying to are like crashing the net. They're trying to get in there. They're trying to at least walk away with a single goal tonight. And Bergeron's there. He's mucking it up on in front, and look at that. He gets rebounds. Because he's right in front of the net and backhands it in to prevent us from getting goose egged. And finally, we have 1 goal. They have 3, but we have 1. Let's not what was that noise? But not long afterwards, we get to another big thing. Andrei Svechnikov just completely decks Hampus Lindholm, and he looks very, and Lindholm looks very, very unbalanced. He looks like he is struggling to stand up. He's struggling to find his footing, everything. And if you look on the replay, it looked like a slightly less dirty version of Aaron Rome's massive hit on Nathan Horton in Game 4 of the I think it was either Game 4 or Game 3 of the 2011 Stanley Cup playoff, 2011 Stanley Cup Finals. He is going up off his skates. It's to lay out a hit, and it goes right up to where it is just barely legal, and that is how. And since it was just shoulder to chest, technically, Svechnikov walks away completely fine. Sure, the Bruins are scrumming it up in the corner with him. They want his fucking head, and completely understandable. Well, Svechnikov doesn't get anything for it. Instead, you know who walks away with the penalty? Brandon Carlo walks away with the penalty for roughing. Now, here's the thing. It is so hard to complain about the refs as a Bruins fan because we're notoriously the big bad Bruins. Will fuck you up, and the refs never see shit. I genuinely think that this that some fucky shit was happening. I also hate using the refs as an excuse. If you lose because of bad calls, maybe the refs were fucking stupid, but also maybe you should be more disciplined and as a team. But for the love of God, Svechnikov lays out this and gets not. He lays out two of our best defensemen and stops play for several minutes for both players, and somehow we're the ones that come out of it on the penalty kill. Somehow we're the ones that infracted. Somehow the Bruins are the ones this time that, and somehow the Bruins are the ones who are in the wrong for Svechnikov for Andrei Svechnikov freaking Ted Kaczynski our fucking defense. Fuck you. Fuck. And Canes fans are gonna act so smug about it. Canes fans are gonna act like, oh, it's fucking karma, dude. Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, I know. The Bruins have been the beneficiaries of so many bad calls in the past. But you know what? Every single goddamn team has been the beneficiary of a shitty call in the past. At some point or another, this here. And you know what? Just because Pastrnak accidentally fucked up Antti Raanta doesn't mean that Svechnikov doesn't mean that Andrei Svechnikov should walk away from this is completely with freaking hands washed, nothing. Dude laid waste to Lindholm and Lindholm, Hall, and McAvoy, and the most that he got was like a holding penalty here and there throughout the game. So you want to you want to complain about the ref. You want to complain about the refs. You can't just complain about the refs when it's your team. And I know you're probably gonna say, "Oh, Justin, you complain about the refs all the time." The Bruins. Look. I said for Halla's hilariously stupid penalty shot that it shouldn't have been a penalty shot in the first place. But I can't really. Just 1 second. That might have been the first time all season in which I have had to pause recording to collect my anger. But I mean, shit, I'm doing more than the Bruins did tonight in collecting their anger. So just even know, man. What the hell else do you want me to say? What else do you want me to say? Friggin' after DeBrusque gets a penalty for cross-checking in response to Andrei Svechnikov, not just fucking up Charlie McAvoy. For some fucking reason, DeBrusque gets that penalty. Forbert almost immediately gets a high sticking penalty. That's a double minor for about as much blood as I've for less blood than I've than I've had when I cut myself when shaving my legs. Things like, dude, it's like a little splotch of blood. I think it was Martin Nachas's his chin. You're gonna call that a fucking double minor? Go. Anger. It's at times like this I wish I was 21 and could drink. But I mean, somehow we killed the 5-on-3. The Canes eventually get a freaking too many men on the ice penalty, which is pretty funny. And then after we do absolute shit with it, because of course we do. This was the one instance of a far angle shot actually working for the Bruins. And because look at that, there's somebody there to pick up the pass. Disguised as a shot. McAvoy shoots from pretty much the blue line, and it intended to be a far angle. I think he thought that Bergeron was farther back and was gonna slap it in after as it got to him, but no, Bergeron was skating towards him, and the puck bounces off Bergeron's skate into the net to at least get the Bruins a second goal. Meanwhile, the Canes have 4. Again, we get so many wide angle shots when Nino Niederreiter high sticks Brad Marchand right off an icing face off. Oh yeah, by the way, pretty much immediately after the 4 F1, pretty much immediately after the Bruins go into the 4 F150 final 5, the Bruins pull Allmark. It's evident we wanted like some weird shenanigans to happen in the last 5 minutes that would give us 2 goals. But you can't hope for shenanigans. You can't hope for wacky shit to happen. You just gotta make that shit happen. And of course, the power play dies, and immediately after, Nino Niederreiter has the puck going towards the empty net, and he pots it 5-2 Canes, and immediately after the buzzer, everybody's going for each other. Everybody's going for each other, and honestly, I completely understand both sides. Carolina is pissed because the Bruins because Pastrnak accidentally knocked out Antti Ranta, and the Bruins are pissed because Svetch. Again, how can you at all argue that this was not intentional, or like wasn't malicious, or like fucking? How do you not penalize that? How do you not call a penalty? Freaking Max Domi is out here mugging people after the whistle. How refs? Freaking refs! I need you to come clean. How much did Rod pay you off? How much goddamn money did Rod Brindamore pay you off? No, I can't use that as an excuse. I can't use the refs as an excuse because the refs has been on the Bruins side way too many times. We can't use the you can't use the refs as an excuse if you're historically a good team, even if this team right now is playing like even though this team by all means rode a semi-easy schedule into the playoffs. were bailed out by insane goalie performances, and by all means should not be anywhere, and by all means probably shouldn't be, probably are like the first, and by all means are currently what you would think of if the term first round exit came to your head. No matter what, you can't complain about goaltending. You can't complain about goaltending because the Bruins are mean. And guess what? It's fucking hockey. It's fucking hockey. Everybody, the hockey is the only fucking sport in which you can mug the shit out of someone and just get 5 minutes of not being able to play. It is the only venue that does not advertise itself as a fighting arena, that allows people to beat the fucking shit out of each other but even then they still have but even so just admit it. We're all shit people. We're all shit people. And the I don't know what to say. Freaking comment down below what I should say. Leave a like if you like. Subscribe if you really like. Down below is my GoFundMe. My the recovery GF GoFundMe for Jake Tebow. And also the GoFundMe for a trans family escaping the bullshit that is Texas. And someone please just kill me. Just kill me right goddamn now.